Well, good Friday morning. Meteorologist Kerry Cooper here. Hope you're having a nice 4th of July so far. And we've had a lot of clouds across southeast Texas this morning, and that's actually some good news. It helps keep the heat down a little bit. Now, we'll have some sun, though, from time to time, so we're still expecting temperatures to be in the lower 90s, but I think we'll stay away from those mid-90s. Our Roofing 911 Skycam network up in Jasper showing mostly cloudy skies there. A few peaks of sun, sponsored by Provalis. And we do have a few light showers in the forecast today into early tonight. We've been talking about that a little bit. It's not a huge coverage, but there'll be a few showers out there. There's actually moisture from some of that devastating flooding that's been going on in the hill country around Kerrville. A lot of these are high clouds coming in from that. And our Roofing 911 Skycam network over in Orange, sponsored by the Horseman's Western Store. In Orange, it's mostly cloudy as well. Well, like I said, that's helping us out a little bit on the heat this afternoon. I mean, it's still going to be hot and humid, yes, but I think we'll help us a little bit with some clouds and even a few widely scattered showers out there. In fact, we do have a 20 to 30% coverage in the forecast this afternoon, so there will be a few showers here and there. And of course, kind of like late yesterday, we had some showers coming in from the west and southwest. Then they kind of weakened as they worked into the area. And our Roofing 911 Skycam network here in Beaumont, sponsored by Packard and Prey, mostly cloudy here as well. Notice still some haze in the atmosphere as well. So as we go on throughout the course of the holiday weekend into early next week, that should begin improving. So that's some good news there, as visibilities will be getting a little bit better across southeast Texas as well as we go on through the course, as I said, the holiday weekend on into early next week. Notice not much wind out there, very light. We hadn't had a lot of problem with wind lately, and the wind should remain fairly light coming up across the region, coming up over the course of the next several days. So light there. And down in Port Arthur, our Roofing 911 Skycam network, sponsored by Market Basket there. Yeah, pretty much a mostly cloudy to cloudy sky across portions of southeast Texas, that's for sure. And of course, when we get to satellite in a moment, we'll show you where the clouds are coming from across southeast Texas. Notice not much wind blowing across the area either, so that's good. All right, allergy report this afternoon. We're still in pretty good shape in the tree. Now the weed is still in that medium category. The grass is low, and notice, and the mold still in that moderate. It's going to take still a few more days for that to improve. And of course, if we get even more showers, that will continue to get worse there, but not too bad overall in the allergy forecast. Now, your fireworks forecast for tonight at 9 o'clock. We're going to go with mostly cloudy skies, temperatures in the lower 80s. Not much wind, so that's good, but there still could be a few sprinkles around. Now, I think by 9 o'clock, we should be in pretty good shape, so I think we're okay. Any scattered shower activity should occur later this afternoon and before 9 p.m. Now, the rest of this weekend forecast, of course, a lot of folks not only celebrating today, but we'll be celebrating over the weekend as well. We'll give it a 20% coverage for the rest of the afternoon into early tonight. That drops to 10% tomorrow. We got a little bit of low-level dry air coming in tomorrow. We'll still have some mid-level moisture, but the lower levels, the 10,000 foot range, or some dry air indicated tomorrow, so only a 10% coverage there. And then for Sunday, back to 20% again. So, and it'll be a little bit better chance as we head into early next week as moisture begins to increase once again off the Gulf. So, but notice the winds here, not too bad. So if you like lighter winds, just to like in the forecast, light south-southwest today, tomorrow, and on Sunday. So that's good there, not a lot of wind. A lot of folks up at the lake. There'll be a lot of fireworks festivities tonight up along Sound Rayburn, Toledo Bend as well. But your Sound Rayburn forecast for the rest of the day, a few showers up there at 30%. That's mainly for later this afternoon. Should be okay by fireworks time. We'll have a light south wind and temperatures around 91, 92. So still pretty warm, still very humid in some areas, but not quite as hot as it has been thanks to all the clouds we've had across southeast Texas. That's good news there. So if you're heading up to the lake, looking pretty good, could be a few showers early, then things should be improving throughout the course of the evening. Now, temperatures, of course, yesterday at this time, we were already at 88, 89 degrees. We're in the mid 80s across the viewing area, 86 in Orange, 85 Port Arthur, 84 in Silsbee. Notice Kirbyville, a little bit warmer there in Jasper, 86, 84 Woodville, of course, Houston at 86 as well. But the clouds really helping us out. That's the good news. Clouds helping us out on those temperatures this afternoon, that's for sure. But we'll still top out, looks like around 90 to 92, I think, most areas before we are said and done with the day. Now back to the dust. Of course, we've had that milky sky for several days now, but it's thinning out a little bit. It's not quite as thick as it was, and as we put this into motion, notice a little bit of improvement coming up late tomorrow into Sunday, and certainly by early next week. The skies will be a little bit bluer, a little more clear. And notice as we head into next week, another large plume of Saharan dust way down in the southern Gulf. The good news with this, it looks like it's going to stay well to our south. So that's good news there. We'll put that into motion, kind of affecting South Texas and northern Mexico by the middle portions of next week. So hopefully, and it should stay on to our southwest. So that's good news there, certainly, for the allergy sufferers. All right, let's take a look at radar. There are a few light sprinkles here and there, mainly in Orange County. Light stuff here. A few sprinkles in southern Jefferson County, back over to northern Galveston Bay. But notice not much on radar, a few little showers north of Huntsville. Everything's working east-southeast at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. But once we get a little bit of heating going this afternoon, and we do have some moisture in place, the coverage will increase a little bit to around 20 to 30%. And that will continue into early this evening, and then everything should be over with by the time the fireworks displays start at 9 p.m. tonight. And even some showers across portions of west central Louisiana around Oakdale, back down into portions of northern and eastern Newton County this afternoon. Now the big weather story, and we'll get to that in just a moment. We'll talk about our clouds here locally first. See, we're socked in with a cloud. That's good. That's going to help us with our heat a little bit. A few showers southwest of Houston. Look at that counterclockwise spin there across the hill country. This is producing catastrophic flooding, especially around Kirbyville and along the Guadalupe River. We're talking anywhere from 9 to about 15 inches of rain overnight. You got to remember, this part of the state can't handle the kind of rainfall that we can here a lot of times. So a lot of devastation out there, not good. Actually, this is remnants of, remember last week we had the tropical system move in, Barry in Mexico, and it funneled up through Mexico and eventually worked around that ridge of high pressure, and the moisture settled over there, so in west central Texas. So not a good situation. I think we have some video to show you. Let's take a look at some of that video now coming in from the hill country and the Kerrville area. There's the Guadalupe River, and the levels, I believe at one time before the rains hit, portions of this river was almost at a dry level, almost at 0 feet. It's come up to over 20 feet just overnight into this morning, the late this morning. They're still getting rain now. It should start winding down in the next couple of hours, but that's just catastrophic for those folks there in the hill country. And of course, unfortunately, we had the fatalities out there. Several folks have passed away due to the flooding, and of course the rescues as well. The rescues continuing, folks hanging on trees, rooftops, whatever they can to try to stay out of the water. But thankfully, there's been a lot of successful rescues there, but unfortunately, there have been a lot of fatalities too. So not a good situation along the Guadalupe River and in the hill country, especially in and around Kerrville. That's one of the hardest hit areas out northwest of San Antonio. Just bad situation there, and it looks like, I guess the only good news I got for that area is at least the rains will be slacking off here in the next hour or two, but they're going to have a lot of problems from days and days and days to come, that's for sure. But it's really amazing how, of course, that's a look at the Guadalupe River there, how parts of that river was down to almost zero as far as, and in many locations along the Guadalupe River, there wasn't any water left at all. It went up over 25 feet overnight. That's pretty amazing. And mesoscale system just kind of sitting over that same area, so not good news there. Otherwise, the rest of the country looking pretty good. Let's take a look at Futurecast now. We'll have a few widely scattered showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two left this afternoon. We'll give it a 20, maybe a 30% coverage across southeast Texas. The clouds helping us with our temperatures. Some areas could stay only around 89. That'd be nice this afternoon. Notice this evening, Showers should start dissipating once we get closer to firework festivities time. And notice tomorrow morning, a few showers may try to develop along the coast in the morning. Not so sure about that because the coverage tomorrow should be a little bit less than what we've got today, only at 10%. We'll show you that in just a moment. The tropics, well, some tropical development is possible off the coast of Georgia and Jacksonville, Florida, but that will stay out of the Gulf. So that's certainly some great news there. A chance of that happening pretty good over the next week at around 60%, but no threat at all to the Gulf of Mexico. All right, let's take a look at moisture levels now. This is in the middle part of the atmosphere this evening. Some of the better moisture over the lakes, back into portions of eastern or western southeastern Texas, but still enough low-level moisture here for a few showers. And notice the high pressure ridge is shifted well to the south. We'll put this into motion. This is tomorrow afternoon. Now notice there is quite a bit of moisture at about 10,000 feet. Okay, 700 millibars, 10,000 feet, pretty moist, but we get some drying tomorrow in the low levels. Let's say from 2,500 feet to about 5,000 feet, we actually get some drying tomorrow. That's the reason for just the 10% coverage. Then as we head into Sunday, we still have some moisture there in the mid levels, and the low levels begin to moisten up a little bit too. So we'll bring that rain coverage back to 20% on Sunday on into early Sunday evening. And notice that there as we head into Monday and Tuesday, a trough of low pressure in the upper atmosphere will pass to our south. It'll head to the west, but that'll help draw in a little bit better moisture. So we'll have a 30% coverage coming up for both Monday and Tuesday. We'll show you that in just a few moments on our 7-day forecast, but looking pretty good. And notice as we head into the middle part of next week, the moisture kind of shifting back to the north. High pressure tries to build back in from the west, so we'll dry it out a little bit again, but still a slight chance on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. All right, marine forecast. A lot of people will be boating not only today, but also tomorrow and Sunday, the holiday weekend. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now, there'll be a couple of showers around, but the wind's not bad at all. Southwest 5 to 10 knots. Seas only around 1 to 2 feet. That water temperature running in the upper 80s. And currently at Texas Point, winds not too bad. 8, some gusts to around 13. So that's not too bad. At least the wind's under control. And for the rest of the afternoon, we'll give it a 30% coverage of showers for the lakes in inland southeast Texas under variable clouds. Highs around 90, and a 20% coverage here in the Triangle. For tonight, we'll keep rain out of the forecast. That's good news for the fireworks festivities starting at 9 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies, no rain expected, light winds, and temperatures in the middle to upper 70s across the area. Now, 7-day forecast, 20% the rest of the day into this evening. Only a 10% coverage for your Saturday. That's isolated. Widely scattered at 20% on Sunday. Then scattered showers, a little bit better coverage there for Monday and Tuesday at 30%. And then notice we'll dry out a little bit toward next Wednesday and Thursday, but we'll still keep isolated chances in there until we get some new data coming in this afternoon. We'll be able to fine tune this forecast again once new computer models come out over the course of the rest of the afternoon. Now it's still going to be hot as you see there. We're still talking lower 90s, but at least that's better in the mid to upper 90s, that's for sure. Nighttime lows will be running in the middle to upper 70s across southeast Texas. So it's going to be a warm, humid holiday rest of the weekend. A couple of showers around later today into early this evening. Isolated tomorrow, widely scattered on Sunday, and then scattered 30% on Monday and Tuesday.